Alright, now we are going to move on to Island. So this one, from here on out, is going to be a bit more spread out as far as what we have to do. I am not doing Aid Address again. I want to save HUNK for near the end. So, you know what? We're going to start with Wesker. And then we'll do the two Leons. And then we'll go from there. Alright, so Island is a bit more straightforward, actually. It's smaller, bigger focus on verticality. You know, going up and down, there's a few hidden crevices, grab some stuff, but it's honestly, it's basically a straightforward corridor with some extra baggage, and that's really it. That's all there is to it. Make a run for it. I really don't know how much of this running I really need to do. The extra bonus at the end is a nice touch, but, you know, nope, not ready to kill you yet. We need to get situated. So the one thing is, while I do like this map, especially the remade version of it, I actually like a bit better than the regular version. It's not as freeform as the others, where you can pretty much get started at any point. You know, pretty much where you know, wherever you feel it out. We've got to climb all the way up there before we even consider getting started, at least in my opinion. I'm sure there's people out there who are a bit more like, you know, just touch and go. But I want to grab some shit. Alright, cool. You know what? Start, work our way up from here. It's tricky because this area, I don't know how they did the spawns, but again, it feels like, you know, enemies are a bit more sparse when you start climbing up here. Yeah, there's a spawn right there. Cool. Alright. Gotta keep climbing. Ah, yes, these guys show up on this stage. Not as annoying as Resident Evil 5's versions, where they'd grab you and you would just be immobile for a bit, which kind of makes me wonder why they decided to put them in the mercenary stage. That was like their whole thing. So now they just jump all over the place. Jump at you, they annoy you a little, but they don't do much else. Alright. Now, we could just jump down, but I think it makes more sense for mercenaries for us to just go down there. There we go. Another thing that doesn't really happen in the older Mercenaries games, you can't really fall down the stairs, or your enemies can't really fall down the stairs. They just kind of fall off the ledge. And we got our mayhem just in time to kill this boss. The bosses are not as threatening. See, it's just two different flavors of pigmen, just the ones with the gun and ones that like to get up close and hurt you. Not a threat. Just move out of the way. Probably heard that one revving up his thing. There he is. Nice, kick his ass. And that's it. Now we wait for the next one. But it's really just going to be that in the multiple flavors this game puts them out in. Close quarters or revving up the thing. Not very threatening in either case. For any character, really. You know, Wesker, you can just get in their face and they really just don't have an answer, but it's not really a threat for any of them. Probably shouldn't have grabbed that, but I just, as this progresses, while it's not really going to be super difficult up here, this is not like a good spot. You're definitely better off, if you wanted to put your back to a corner, you're better off down there, which is where we're going to end up going. I will say that, you know, I have my gripes I've said with, you know, how Wesker looks and handles a little bit. You know, it almost caters to, like, players like me where we're used to, like, just landing one hit, going in for the melee. That's like Wesker's shtick. Throwing a healing item in. He might be my favorite to play in this. It stands right now, that might be HUNK. See, it looks like he's gonna pounce and, like, wrap around you and stop you from moving, but he just doesn't. Instead, he grabs onto them. Oh, we're gonna pop. I don't want to be caught in a situation. Once again, back to the wall's pretty bad unless you have some kind of contingency or a little bit of wiggle room, which this stage only really affords in like 2 areas. Yeah. Ooh, nice little boost there. Which reminds me of how Barry plays in Mercenaries Reunion and United. See, that I don't know why they did that, where they removed the weaker melee moves. Maybe, maybe it is because it was a bit more work than your average person would want to put in, but there's like a whole, and even with the higher damage, there is still a science behind everything. But if there was like, you'd be factoring in like, oh, how quick does this move, recover from? Sure, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but you have invincibility frames and you're pushing everyone back a little. Makes sense. And now there's like none of that really. Let's see if I can get to this in time. Ooh, that was a mistake. Holy shit! I didn't mean to do that. Oh yeah, also there's some minigun fixtures on here. I don't think they recover, so we're gonna use those sparingly, save them for emergencies. Which, I think by now there's not too many of those. Why are you not dying? I guess he died and the counter just didn't go up, or I didn't notice the counter not go up. That's on my end. That's fine though, we're still way on track for the score we're looking for. That's another thing. Those things, the ones with their heads exposed, they if you try to melee them, they'll still take damage, but only Wesker really has a melee move where he won't get hit, consistently. Other melee moves have a chance to trade just from the nature of the hitbox, where it's just constantly flailing around. What? Did I misaim that? Why did none of them die from that? So, we're gonna stand here just to bait the boss. Alright, good. Uh-oh. Alright, let's use the Magnum. We've been kind of neglecting it this whole time. There we go. People were concerned that I mean, don't get me wrong, there's right to be concerned about cut content with these, but people were concerned that the Magnum I was just using, the Killer 7, wasn't going to be in the game because it was called the Killer 7. Like, it's a... I know Suda was involved, but it's a Capcom, game. You can still make the reference. I think I'd be more worried about... Oh, I'm sure the rights work out a certain way. This'll clear them. This'll clear them good. Yeah. All that annoying shit is just off the board. Throwing it out for good measure. And... oh, you hear him rev it up. Heavy grenade, that should... oh, not both of them? Oh. Alright. Are you still alive? God damn. Just die already. And just because I don't want to look like an idiot near the end, we are going to heal up. Not a speed run. Want some of that? You go watch the Free Game Network plays. We have plenty of those. Waste the last shot of the Magnum. We don't have to worry about losing our combo at the last second. And that was clean. Holy shit. Could be better, but like I said, we have our goal today. Alright, what did I say we're gonna do next? Leon? We'll start with basic Leon, and then we'll move to Pinstripe. Alright. Fuck it, we'll go run that way on the way back. One thing I've noticed really is that like this is kind of the culmination of all the side modes that have come out for the RE Engine games so far, where they just over time they've made it easier and easier. Like I don't need to pick any of that up. Like it wasn't you weren't in like a desperate position in the older games or anything like that, but it was a bit tighter. This one is just very, very forgiving. I could skip all these boxes, you know, I don't need to go looking for drops if I really wanted to. Alright, we'll jump down this time. One of those. Also, I just realized, you know, I realized at the end of it, I should say, the freaking, the egg bonus. Holy crap. Extra 50,000 points. You're more likely to kill those things by accident, just by throwing grenades, but really needed to go for them, you go for them. Alright. Because Leon isn't as much of a bulldozer, I guess. We'll start here and make our way over there a bit quicker. Yeah, we don't need that right now. That's not a great sign, huh? All right. Okay, let's get some kills. It's a bit early for this, but. Nice thing about like when you lean into the melee kills after like a flashbang, you kind of recoup the loss on time from running around in a way that's a bit better than older ones. Again, I haven't looked into it, but I'm almost positive that the base version of this version of Mercenaries was a bit more unforgiving at launch. And the same was true for Resident Evil Village. So like a shot like that on the elbow would have made it nice and easy to just get some breathing room. Slip out just as that ends. I'm gonna come down. Where is he? There you are. Cool. Whoa. Pick up some ammo. Up. Overzealous. Yep. I almost said I wish there was a quick turn function. I just haven't been using it. I don't know why I'm not used to doing that on the 3D games. I think it's probably because of all the time I put into... It just doesn't make sense. They've always had quick turning. Huh. I don't know. It's just more comfortable for me to, like, move the other way. This. Oh, okay. All right. Oh my god. Right in the corner. Are you kidding me? Good. I gotta stay out of the line of sight though. Alright. Actually, yeah. Oh my god. No. Okay, never mind. I panicked for a second. I thought they could get hit by the parasites. I don't think that's the case. Who the fuck are you? I guess I hit him. The penetration on that rifle is very high. That's actually something I don't really remember too much of. Aside from the obvious things like damage, there's also different penetration values for every gun, different special things, and I don't remember... I think the one Leon has might be one of the best penetrating, for mercenaries purposes anyway. Would have to double check with Lewis because I never use Lewis's rifle unless it's for like long distance pickup shots, which you really don't run into in this version of Mercenaries. Take a second to reload. I'll use the rifle for a little bit. Oh, damn. Where were you hiding? I'm actually curious about something. Oh, it does. Wow. Probably should have waited before, you know, doing that, but, you know, it's whatever. For points purposes, the using Leon's pistol obviously makes sense, even though for damage it really doesn't. Damage you really want to focus on rifle, shotgun, and grenade. Oh lord, oh lord, oh lord. Let's go. I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. What do I got? Flash grenade. Easy peasy. I am walking out of here. And... Ooh. Why wouldn't I lose my combo? Whatever. Now this may look bad, at least for the very end here. However... Oh fuck. Should have just kept my fucking mouth shut. That pushed us over the edge though? I did really well up to that point. Yes! Cool. We don't have to do that again. Alright. Gonna move on. We are going to do Pinstripe Leon next. Alright, Leon Pinstripe is a little different. He's kind of in between regular Leon and some of the Ada builds. He's got the Chicago typewriter. Not infinite, unfortunately, so you only get away with so many shenanigans. Honestly, the 60, like, the ammo feels like it lasts like half as long on a lot of these machine guns. 60 feels like 30, 30 feels like nothing. Whenever I use a character that uses the TMP, it feels like they only got like 20 shots. Alright, we gotta climb. It's killing me. I don't know if it's just, was it always this easy? I know it wasn't as easy. I've been saying that constantly, but I feel like they overcompensated on the time needs based on, you know, how much heavier Resident Evil 4 Remake is compared to other Resident Evils. Like, in a lot of ways, it feels slower than the first-person Resident Evils, and that's just a lot, because those feel like you're like barely speed walking in that game. Sorry, chicken. The game made me do it. Does that count as a kill? No, it doesn't. Alright, but we will start killing them here, so. Moves are still the same, just, you know. Got this. I think shotgun might be better too? I'm also not sure. Or is it the other way around? Probably start moving down the stairs. Oof. Seems a little called like nonsensical when you see him like do the kick but miss so he can do it again, but if you just sit there you can't, like, he won't do the kick normally. Reload takes a while. Alright, now mayhem mode. Have that at the ready for when the guy shows up. Keep things moving until then. Oh, no, I'm pretty bad at like the different evades and dodges and parries and all that. But like a lot of the times when you see me just completely get smacked in the face like that, it's normally because I'm going in for like the melee invincibility frames instead of like the manual evade. May not even need to use the. Yeah, I'll use it, just because I want to get the hell out of here. Get him coming down from there. Pretty good save. Part of me wants to go up there and grab another. You know what? I'll do it. I'll risk it. Just grab all the ammo and then I'll leave. And we're gonna. I was gonna try and get to my inventory before that happened. Okay, I got the shotguns backwards, I think. Not that you can really tell. Given how trivial this looks, I kind of wish they brought back No Mercy for this. That would have been a nice addition. Even though it is kind of pointless. No Mercy is a mode that was introduced on the PC versions. That doubled the enemy count and the enemy aggression. Later made its way to the next-gen stuff. I think it, what was it? I think PC Resident Evil 6 was the first to have it. And then later ports and editions of Resident Evil 5 added it. Whatever's past the Games for Windows Live era of Resident Evil 5, I think had it. I would need to double check to see if I'm incorrect. Let's clear that. Okay. For the longest time, especially after Resident Evil 6, I noticed that, it's not I noticed more, it bothered me, is there's animation periods where, like, the characters are just kind of running limp like this, nothing in their hands. And, I don't know, that's always bothered me. It's also kind of bothered me in Dead Rising, but with Dead Rising it's a little more acceptable because you're not dealing with trained combatants. I know there's some people that like to make a big stink over some models for Frank in Dead Rising 1, some animations he had in like early builds and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, those are nice, but you know, it'll be okay if you don't have them. But here, you know, starting with Resident Evil 6, they really started doing it where it's just like, okay, you're gonna be running around, you're not gonna be holding the gun or nothing. Oh, thank you. Just pop one of these and get it done, and we'll put you there. Cool. Might be cool if they did what was it? If they did depending on how you kill boss enemies, their drops are a little different. Instead, I think it's just random. Gotta get used to doing that more often. I keep saying, you know, and I don't want to shit on the game more than I have because I am enjoying this, obviously, but it feels weird for me to go, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, when, like, it's not really necessary to squeeze out the additional points for our purposes. Or just purposes in general. Like, if you just wanted to get the same costume I'm going for here, you wouldn't need to do all the extra shit. It does level your game up, though. Do that. Do this. Oh, come on. You should have grabbed me from the front. What the hell was that? Cool. We're positioned in a place that we can get the thing. Not very descriptive of me. I'm trying to say I'm going for the machine gun. The minigun. I guess he's weak in the knees. Okay. That's not good. That's not good. That's not a good move. Move, Leon! Oh, God. Oof. It's getting a little dicey, huh? That's funny. This is really the only time you see Leon get covered in blood is when you're in situations like that where it's really hairy, really dicey. And the funny fucking thing about it is, you know, it wasn't that much kind of blood spatter in the original, so it's fine. But it was a big problem in the deluxe remaster of Dead Rising. Like the blood, even to certain, you know, it wasn't the biggest deal in the first Dead Rising, but it was noticeable and it was an effect there, and like the new version just did not have it at all. That's a whole other thing, which I will get to talking about eventually. Or I should say eventually, but the scripting is pretty much done. I just need to read it, put it off for a long time. Alright, so... we're just gonna stroll on out of here because we don't want to die at the last second. Ooh, fuck. Did I at least get it? No, I don't think I did. Shit. We're gonna have to do that one again, boys. Really fucked up near the end there. Just a moment. Whew. Alright, that's better. Yeah, that's an S++. S++. Yeah, there we go. Alright. We can move on. And now, on to what is becoming my least favorite option available. I mentioned before that I don't really care for how data came out in this game, you know. Design's kind of inferior. Voice is probably the worst the series has ever seen, which is saying something considering, you know, some of the voices this franchise has gotten. I don't really like what they did with this costume either. It's got like that weird black streak running down it, but for our purposes, right here, right now, I just don't very much like how she feels overall. Melee moves and all that. You only have to do this, what, I think this time, one more time. It's a great start, got the egg early. What do we got up here? Perfect. So it was worth it. That's still something I'm not... I know that's like the way to do it to save time, but I'm still not keen on wasting the bullets on boxes. Not that you're hurting for ammo, as we have seen. That was a weird culling glitch. Well, that is neat. Her melee move is one of the ones that works on stairs. So there's that. I stand corrected. Just one of them, I guess. But I gotta remember like how this functions. Obviously, there's the different grabbing angles. You know, where you shoot them, how they react, contextual, all that. But there's another factor. I think it has to do with not your position. That one's obvious, but like distance or something? I don't know why certain moves are coming out in this one compared to others. Did I do it too early? I did it too early. Yeah, well, that's it about Ada. The Mercenaries theme is still mighty fine. Yeah, there's a difference between kneeling, taking a knee, and, you know, the character turning around when you shoot them. That's probably the animation that's like the jankiest in all the Remake Engine games, the one where you shoot him in the knee just right and force. There you go. There's that thing again, man. I don't know. I really don't like that delay. It's very uncomfortable where it's just like you gotta wait for the animation to play out and in full and let the camera reset before you get credit for the kill. I mean, it hasn't screwed us so far, but it certainly don't feel right. Notice as we go through this, I have been forgetting to use the mayhem stuff, which not the biggest deal in the world, but seems like a bit of a waste. Called it a little closer though. Lay into him for a second. That'll do. Getting a little cluttered in here. That was a mistake. See, like right there. Right there. No, we're not losing the combo like this. We lost the combo like that. Let everyone down. Really wasted that. I really should have just kept the herbs. I did not follow my own advice. Okay. Okay. I get it. Almost there. No need to die at the last second here. Yeah, then I pull a fucking stunt like that. Oh, perfect. Just gotta make it to this and we'll be fine. Did I pick up? Yes, I did. We're still on this. That's the game. Very good. Nice. Alright, I think that's enough for one day. Did pretty good. I think we got half of them done at least, right? Yeah, off to a good start. Let's see, we got... Oh yeah, they got the big deal. We got HUNK left on this, and then 1, 2, 3... 5, 6. Oof. No, just 5. I'm blind. Yeah, good. Good. We'll wrap this up tomorrow. But until then. Alright. And we're back. Got the last half to wrap up now. We're going to kick things off with... Well, the only time we're playing HUNK during this, unfortunately. It's a lot of fun. But to the point that I've already done this quite a bit, so just get this done. Little treat. HUNK's always cool. Unfortunately, they kind of like, he has the worst example of melee moves being altered a bit too much. His neck snap used to be just like a quick little thing, and I'll show you at a certain point what it is. I'm sure I'll do it at a certain point. It still has the utility. HUNK in vanilla RE4, he had 2 moves: a really ridiculous kick, which I'm pretty sure he still has, and an insta kill move, which we will get to when we get to, if you haven't seen it already. Really just a cool character. He's really fun. He's also I was thinking a lot about this, but he's really cool. He was added into the RE5 engine briefly with the Mercenaries 3D. I wish, you don't want to overuse like a cool character like HUNK, you know. I think they were planning on giving him like a full game at some point, but I'm not sure if I would agree with that necessarily. But you don't want to overuse him, but he's cool when he shows up in the Mercenaries. Fourth Survivor is obviously a lot of good fun. As good places I need to start. Let's see, does he have that? Yeah. Okay. It's actually, now that I think about it, I would probably remember. Watch this, okay. Neck snap, and then he does like the little fucking magic hands stuff. Completely ruins the animation of the other one. Where, like, basically what he would do is it would just be... Oh, I ran right into that. It would just be like a little insta-kill, and then he moves on very quickly, but they added so much extra time. He's slower to get to it, and then when he does get to it, he does that exaggerated magic fingers crap. That kick of his was also way better in vanilla. Because he does like this ridiculous like all power hefty kick where he like backs up a bit and he kicks so hard he actually like leaves the camera frame basically. It's cool. It's still fun though. Keep that for later. So Jesus Christ. So his whole thing, he also has that move, which he, I think he first had that, or he first started, they gave him, like, those little hidden blades, essentially, in the Mercenaries. It's pushing it a little bit. He's just supposed to be, like, a badass military guy, but plays into the whole Grim Reaper gimmick that he has had going on since the beginning. But, yeah, so his gimmick here in the Mercenaries is that he only has the one weapon. He has the submachine gun, right? MP5, good old weapon. And his mayhem mode is just unlimited of that. That's all he's got. And it's simple, it's sweet, it's really nice. Probably used it a bit early. Also, I really like what they did for his theme here. It's a mix of what's it called, Looming Dread, his theme from the fourth Survivor in Resident Evil 2, but they also incorporate his original Mercenaries theme, his original theme. And Looming Dread itself is a remix of the two themes, or at least an interpretation of one of the themes from the original fourth Survivor, and that's really cool. Now, for all the shit I'll give Capcom and their teams for, you know, some of their decisions in the remake series, there are some things that just slip through the cracks in a good way, and it's typically involved with like stuff like music. Music rarely misses. Oh, come on. Turn the corner. Slow guys, man. Grab this and then we'll fuck off. Get into a better arena. HUNK overall, he's like the play, you know? Or like, straightforward weapon, strong melee, good health. And the way the drops work in this game, you never run out of ammo anyway. Look at that, 500 bullets. If I was playing smart instead of just like unloading, which is honestly something I'm still not used to, you know, I could make this last the remainder of the mission. Alright. So, and just letting loose with the submachine gun is great on these guys when they're infected. Yeah, just like that. Alright. First heal used. Shooting gallery, man. Don't worry, I don't just need to worry that I'm killing too many. I won't have anybody left. Why are you reloading? That's a weird little glitch. There was firing at the end there. It forced me to reload a full weapon. See, look at that. Look at that waste of fucking time. You're gonna get back up, aren't you? Yeah, that's what I thought. This is more accurate to say he's not gonna... More accurate to say he's not gonna die. Just gonna throw the grenade in there instead of fucking... What was that? Killing each other over there, good lord. Minigun's out, but it basically doesn't matter. Crap. And that is easy peasy. Holy shit. Look at that. And that will also be the last time we're seeing HUNK, so there's that. Yeah, HUNK's a lot of fun. HUNK is a lot of fun. Last time we will be seeing him, though. Oof. Alright, so now that's done. All that's left is docks. Now, I'm a little disappointed in docks overall. It's a fine place to utilize from the main campaign, but vanilla RE4 had called, I don't think it had a name. I think internally it was called Waterworld, or other people in the community called it Waterworld. That's what I know it as. And it was basically like a unique map made for mercenaries with asset flip stuff or whatever they had lying around. And I find that stuff cool. If you're going to include the mode, you may as well include neat new stuff for it. So, let's see, who do we have left? So I'm going to do Lewis first, just because, again, I want to get him out of the way as early as possible. Yeah, I mean, this is a fine arena. You know, I guess the trade-off of having, you know, a non-unique one is, at the very least, the one they included is, I don't know how to really put it, like, close-knit. There's never really an area that you can't reach or see enemies, and that's always a plus for mercenaries, even ones that are a bit more easy. So, yeah, see what I can get. I believe Capcom is making me kill chickens. Very cool. I gotta say, having played through this again, obviously the loot drops are gonna be different for each character based on their loadouts, but, you know, seeing some characters basically not get any grenade drops or healing items, I wonder if there's like somebody's made a list, I'm sure it's out there somewhere, of like all the different drops, you know, to kind of like, you know, analyze, because that would be kind of a neat thing to do. Analyze all the different things, see who's really the most difficult to play as, who's the easiest. Really buff this. I don't remember doing this much damage, but I can only say that so many times. I never got the logic of, like, okay, this thing can mutate into, like, a biological weapon, essentially. I would be stabbing them in the neck, cutting it off like that. What the hell did I hit? What the penetration on this is. Very high, it doesn't look like. Now these guys, the bosses on this one, you get, you know, I don't want to say unique because I'm pretty sure it's in the main campaign now, but you get like the chainsaw guy that is always swinging, so you kind of need to neutralize or have like some kind of better plan. We're just gonna throw dynamite at it and see how that works. Where is it though? Where are you hiding? There you are. Well, let's see, let's do this first. And let's... excuse me, just let him on the ground. It's definitely one of those situations where I should, you know, shoot the dynamite instead, but... I say that now. I will definitely, if things get hairy, I will definitely try to do that, and because I've been putting it off so long, it'll probably not go too well. I kill those in one shot? No, it does not. What are you again, I wonder? Gotta be careful with those bugs. They get you at low health. They have they essentially have the one-hit execution that was removed from the other parasites. Man, that has so much wind up, man. Get a quick kicks any day. Ah, there you are. See, I lied. Ooh, fuck. That's on me. I shouldn't have walked there. Should probably be off of this. I need to get off of this before it changes. No. Don't like being near those things. Alright. I think they cycle through all the bosses you fight on the other maps, and then it ends with a triple threat of all of them. That's how this one works. which is pretty much standard for the RE Engine challenges, where they just, whatever the last one is, they just kind of jam all the other stuff in. Come on, throw the grenade, and we'll heal you up. It's a pretty good combo. Only we don't get screwed for losing the big one, though. As long as we get the all clear bonus, we should be in the clear for here. They hit dynamite? You shouldn't be discouraged if you haven't played this or you haven't played it in a while. You shouldn't be discouraged from doing the counters just because I don't. They are really useful and they are a unique part of the there it is. Uh-oh. The knife parry, very, very useful. And the game definitely encourages it, even if I'm too, even if I'm a little too, I wouldn't say lazy, skittish is probably the better answer. Especially in an environment, is he dead? Yeah, he's dead. No, he's not. He's very much alive. Fine. Fine. We're gonna be fine. I'm gonna biff this. Is there a second one? There is a second one. Shit. Where's he gonna come from? I'm hoping he's coming from the other end. If I can get to that, we're fine. Let's make our way over there. And of course you're in the way, aren't you? He is. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Holy shit. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just use the dynamite here. Because fuck all of you. Just casually duck under the RPG. Oh, fuck, I'm dead. That should be an S+, though. That is just... I did not handle that well at all. But we're fine. S+. Moving on. Goodbye, Lewis. Goodbye. It is kind of a cop-out if I'm sitting here talking about how easy it is and then go, oh god, no, not playing with a character I don't like. Speaking of character I don't like, should probably just get this out of the way, right? Yep, let's do it. Let's get this Ada one out of the way. Although, see how this goes. All right. I'm so sorry, chicken. Can't kill you just yet. That was a bit premature. Actually, you know what? Like I said at the beginning, you can kind of just kick this thing off whenever because of how open everything is. You don't really have to worry. This is kind of one of the nicer things about this. And again, like regardless of the little shortcomings I have here with this, if you know the locations of all the items, you probably, you know, I said early on you wouldn't have to worry about dying. You can make that a reality if you know where the drops are. It kind of compensates for, you know, whatever difficulties you might have or the shortcomings of a character loadout that you don't like. So... well, I gotta say, while I don't know if it's changed my personal ranking all that much, I do appreciate this a bit more than the first time I tried it. I was a bit miffed by the, what's it called, by the, some of the choices with the balancing and the melee moves and all that, so, you know, now that they've kind of, I guess, buffed everything around it, or if it's just maybe I'm in a different headspace. You know, just feels nicer. Not that it ever felt terrible, you know. No. Goody goody. Cool, he should be spawning right behind me. Right? He spawns right up there, or that's one of the two spots he can spawn. No? Alright. Where are you gonna come from? There you are. Alright. Let's... I might have popped it too early. Good. Yeah, no, you're still standing. Alright. Smooth. Now we'll save the RPG for the last boss. I also find the weird. I find it weird that they added like a little shove for these guys to do compared to the other games. I guess it's kind of like just in response to the way the game handles, you know. But while also allowing the enemies to be more aggressive, even though the players are slower. Maybe that's the logic. Maybe they just want some kind of conflict resolution system where, you know, players can't dodge around everything like they can in every other Resident Evil. Even though you can still kind of do it. Do not know. They should have used a full heal first. Oh well. Wish they made it so that they could I wish they would have made it so that when you're in mayhem mode or whatever, you just kind of run through all that shit. No, it seems kind of sporadic. Sometimes you get, I don't know if it's just because I've been mislooking, but sometimes when enemies kill each other, you don't get credit or it doesn't count, and other times it does. I thought it was universal, just like they die for whatever reason, you get credit, but oh, maybe I mislooked. Go, I'll full up. You have got to go. Not fucking with those guys anymore, we're too late into this. use herb. Picking that stuff up. I feel like, you know, now that I've had some time to think about it, maybe the, I mean, and I'm probably overthinking it and giving them a little too much credit, but maybe the fact that everything's easier, they're kind of encouraging you to kill things, like, if the higher echelon isn't just points, but also quickness, which leads to points because, you know, score factors into your, time factors into your final score. So, you know, it does technically fall into it, but I'm just thinking, you know, maybe they want you to, like, be more stylish, like, oh, you know, stop what you're doing and start utilizing other weapons, you know. I could also be giving Capcom too much credit, as a lot of people like to do. I'm gonna be pissed if this guy gets loose. Let's just light him up. I don't even know where the enemy is. Where's the boss? I heard him. He shot at me. There we go. Fuck it, I'm not screwing with you guys. That's one nice thing about all the third-person Resident Evils is you just get a shot that just does not go where you intend. Funny things can happen. Alright, alright. I don't like that. You know, full heals. Alright. So, I'm gonna try and get to that. Oh, not good, not good, not good. I did not plan this right at all. I'm about to get one shot. Just a second, folks. Just 1 second. All right, after a longer than intended break, we are back and we're just about done. There's no way this goes poorly and we lose everything at the last second again. It's just not gonna happen unless I pull a move like that. We're good. Everything's fine. And there's better ways to deal with these guys. Taking out the rifle, for instance, but I just want to get this over and done with. Easy. Cool. The least favorite parts of this particular excursion are over and done with. Now we can go to some of the more fun shit. Let's see. Leon Pinstripe, regular Ada, and Krauser. I'm going to do Krauser, Ada, and then Leon Pinstripe. We'll end it on a high note. There's going to be a bit of revenge here because I don't think I did this properly the first time I went through on this stage as Krauser. Alright. To an early start, I was just very excited to not be playing Ada. Yeah, you know, near the end here, I gotta say, I really slept on the fucking, the melee stuff. If I do a full playthrough of the game proper, when we get to it with the pregame network plays, well, I'll probably make an effort to counter and parry more often. Because I have been lacking in getting anything. Alright. First guy up, we're gonna burn our mayhem on him. I've been saying that a lot, pretty much, but I mean, that is really the play. The only thing I can really say as far as, like, going past this, you know, to, like, go for really high scores and not just the max rank, you're probably going to want to use Mayhem as often as possible, as efficiently as possible. Instead of just saving it for, you know, moments like this. All right. I guess like playing as Krauser, like, you know, as like the hulking tank character of the Mercenaries game mode, there's a certain level of aggression that I like, where it's just like playing as Krauser kind of works with the weight of the game, where the weight of the game works when you play as Krauser just because he looks like a fucking hulking mess. I never really cared for him in Vanilla Mercenaries, so I guess there's that. Good improvements. Could also just be the fact that they kind of, you know, homogenized the experience overall, which in a way sucks. Just gotta get through this. Guy's unlucky. Should probably work on getting out of this corner because there's really nothing left here for me. Ah, perfect. The bridge is up. I imagine it can still fall while you're on it in this version of the game, but I don't want that just yet. For some reason I feel like his arrows didn't... No, wait, he had infinite arrows in 4, right? He had infinite non-exploding arrows, I think, in 4. I think that was the thing. Could be misremembering. It's been a while. Dead egg. Get some quick melee kills. Move in this direction. And we'll just... There we go. I don't know what the hell I was doing the first time I did this, but it did not go nearly as smoothly. I probably should have shot the barrel instead of that. Fine though. No, it's nice. They might have changed some of the invincibility on the end of some of these melee moves, because I feel like that guy should have hit me. Oh, no, no, no. This is actually really bad. So I need to be able to run this way. Okay, we're good. Should be good. Yeah, we're good. We're fine. Unbelievable. That was going so well. Oh my god. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. Oh my god. Well, it's going mostly okay, but for some reason, one of the bosses just has decided not to show up. Spawned somewhere, I guess. I haven't seen him. Don't know where he went. Don't know where he's blocked up. Is that him here? No. Still nowhere to be found. It messed up my combo. I was planning all around him, and he's not here. Oh, now my combo's scuffed. Let's take a look around for this guy. Nowhere to be found. It's a little crazy, but you know. Strange. Yeah, all that's left is him and the two guys that spawn after him, and he's nowhere to be found. Huh. Hello? Are you fucking serious right now? Alright. Just chilling up there. Okay, now it's the two of these guys back to back. Okay, we have the tools. We are going to be able to do this. Hit the other guy approaching from my left. There he is. Alright. Well, aside from the boss not spawning, or the boss getting AI locked, everything went fine. Alright, cool. Another S++. Only 2 more to go, and everything will be fine. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. Alright, let's get Ada done, get Pinstripe done, and then we will be done. Shotgun for a little bit just so that we can keep moving. The melee stuff tends to hold you up a bit. Gives them time to regroup. Immediately just renege on that because, you know, habits. I'm basically programmed to keep a pistol out and go for melee kills until the enemy density gets just a little too high. I guess, having gone through it again, I guess that's one of the nice things that you don't really think about when it comes to enemy density, is like, you know, they're so much more aggressive now that, like, if you turn to get, like, a quick shot or go for some kind of strat or whatever, you'll turn around and there's an enemy right behind you. It's nice. What's not nice is that it's gonna spawn right above me. Interesting little fucking parry there. I'll take that credit. Definitely intended. How am I gonna handle you? Okay, well, you're right there, so I gotta be quick. Easy. Pretty much if you have an explosive weapon or some kind of other power weapon, you're pretty much set to deal with the bosses on this one. I don't know how much of that is actually gonna spawn, so let's play it safe from here on. Yeah, I'm starting to think that the bridge just goes up at a certain number of enemies defeated and then stays up. I haven't seen it go down yet. That might just be in my head or might have been patched out. Yeah, there are the bows. What's that guy doing over there? Oof. No, that's not a good spot to be. Where's the boss? There you are. Hop off. That's another thing. It's almost like Dead or Alive a little bit. The way counters work in this, where like there are certain situations where like if you're getting hit multiple times by an enemy doing a melee attack, you can after the first time hits you, if you recuperate, I'm pretty sure in most cases you can you know do the action to actually parry the second hit before it hits you, which is like the holds in DOA. Certain games, not all games have the counter holds, I don't think. The earlier ones. Reloading after every shot. Not always the best option. I hear it, but I don't see it. There you are. Whoa, whoa, getting hit by just a little too much at the end here. Yeah, that'll be fine. Let's make my way towards either of those, so nothing bad happens. Ada is like the only challenging part of this run, just because of the fact that like she's just so squishy, and she doesn't really get any healing items to compensate all that much, which, you know, it's kind of like a good challenge, just noticeable as well. And it's not particularly challenging, it's just, you know, more challenging. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to deal with you. No, 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 no. It's not that. Ah, died at the last fucking second. Like I said, very squishy. Okay. Much less impressive there. Much less impressive. But only one more to go. What's left is Leon Pinstripe. Here we are at the end. Last one. Let's do it. Let's just say Leon Pinstripe is, you know, a good place as any to finish, you know. Good costume, good overall kit. Nothing fancy, just getting the job done. Reload animation on that is rough, man. avoid you. Honestly, I saw that coming. I thought the shotgun would have hit. Because the spread isn't as wide as it looks. Or it's full, I should say. Last time I need to kill the chicken. Very unpleasant. It's something to be said, you know. I don't get preachy over violence in games. It's stupid, but I'm just sitting here gunning down these guys. It's like, ah, the chicken. It's too far. I can't do it. All right. Where is the chainsaw man? Fucking managed to forget that. That's probably the boss that non-power weapon users has. Probably just the boss overall that Leon, both versions of Leon would struggle with the most. HUNK to a much lesser degree, because HUNK can kind of spray and pray. Yep. Game certainly flows a bit better when you remember that you can counter melee weapons. Melee attacks, I should say, not just weapons. Alright. Going smooth. It's gonna be a one and done. Yeah, sure the guys like you ruining my day, we're fine. Maybe the trade-off, maybe when they rebalanced the suplex, they said, okay, we're gonna make sure it kills in one hit. You know, you're just gonna break their necks. There's no way they can get back up, even, you know, with the plagas. You know, but the trade-off, we're gonna add a little bit of unnecessary delay, you know? One more? Yeah. The boss can get held up again. I don't feel like sitting here for an hour. I don't feel like sitting here while Waiting for him to decide, I feel like coming down or not. That over there. Nope, there you are, I hear you. You're revving something up. Where are you? You're to my left. No intention of dying, so we're just gonna use that first aid spray. Just a little save, a little early safety. You're revving up behind me again. Don't like that. Did the grenade leave my hand? Thought it did. Guess it didn't. Holy shit, what a mess. Holy shit. For all that talk, I'm starting to have like a sloppy finish here. We're gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine. We don't get hit by that guy, we're fine. Gun this guy down so he doesn't ruin my day. Alright. That's not good. Goes my combo. This is the part where I die, right? This is the part where I die? It's the part where I die. What? Did I get S+? Did get S+. Bit of an anticlimactic fight, but, you know. Obtained a costume for Leon. There we go. Seems apropos. I'm gonna leave it on that. Headed at the end, but I was doing so well, it didn't even matter. Alright. Where are you? Bonuses. Extra content. Is it in here? No, it's in, do I gotta go to story? Main story. Extras, here we are. Leon costume. RPD. There we go. Kind of a shame that they didn't like make RPD Leon like his own character in the Mercenaries after you unlock it. That would have been cool. Like, why not? You're already pretty much done there. Make a little cool last minute thing, but I guess we don't do those kind of things anymore. Cool, cool, cool. There's some other costumes that are like DLC exclusive that I don't have, but yeah. But yeah, that was the Mercenaries mode, or whatever I had left. You know, a bit of a iffy, you know, little go through here of all the different stuff. But we set out what we did, what we set out to do. We got the extra costume, and we all learned something along the way. So, coming up, if you like other Resident Evil stuff, you can check out our playthrough of the first Resident Evil here on the channel. We have recorded Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil Village, so those will be coming out periodically. I plan on doing Resident Evil 3, then the remake games. Requiem is right around the corner, so I should be uploading this relatively soon-ish, because it's basic enough, and then I'll probably end up getting Requiem and doing my own little playthrough. I won't drag the guys around for that, but yeah, this has been the Mercenaries. So, until next time.